Hello, everyone. Come on in and join the NerdChat. So, it's been a little bit of a delay since the last video, but as you may recall, we left off with Wally losing his speed and Hal giving him a duplicate ring so he can still help. So, as Mirror Master and Black Hand make their escape, they decide to hide the speed they stole in a police car. I don't know why they put it in a police car instead of using it, but that is their plan, and they do it a few times. So, as our three heroes are looking for the villains, Wally gets to test out his new ring. And he's having a lot of fun flying. But Hal explains to him what his ring can do, and he asks Barry if he minds what he did. But Barry says it's great as long as he's doing it for the right reasons. But before Barry can elaborate on that, Wally sees a car moving at super speed. So while Flash and Green Lantern trying to come up with a plan to stop it, Kid Lantern makes a Hot Wheels racetrack so they don't crash. And Flash tells him that only solves half the problem because the car is still, moving. So Flash uses his speed to disassemble the car, and it finally slows down. Wally apologizes for not thinking through a plan, but a mirror beam shoots past him and then breaks off into two beams and hits two helicopters. Hal tells him pick a chopper to save while he grabs a white one. Wally tries to make a net and catch a yellow helicopter, but it goes right through. And remember that they've brought up the yellow thing, and it's important that you remember this. So Green Lantern tells him, the ring doesn't work on yellow since this is before parallax and all that. And he thinks how stupid he is for forgetting to tell him. But thankfully, Wally still thinks fast even without super speed. And he scoops up some of the street below to catch the chopper. As the two gloat to Barry, he tells them not to celebrate quite yet because they haven't caught anyone. I mean, they caught two helicopters, but they haven't caught any bad guys. So they hear on the police scanner that Mirror Master and an identified accomplice, Black Hand, have been spotted in at the Central City Arena. So Hal and Wally fly off to stop them. But meanwhile, by the way, Iris is having an absolutely terrible time with Eve. But anyway, back to the main plot. So on the way to the arena, Barry tells Hal that the kid better not even get a scratch on him, and Hal reassures him the ring protects him just like his own would. But Barry accuses Hal of trying to steal Wally from him. Since Hal's life isn't stable, he broke up with Carol, he had to change jobs, he changed cities. And he sees what Barry has, the stability of Barry's life, and he wants some of it. So he's trying to take Wally from him. But Hal tells him it's just the opposite. He doesn't like Barry's life. He doesn't like how boring and repetitive and routine it is. He thinks that's like a prison to him. So they do get interrupted by Wally as they make it into the arena, and everyone seems to be running away from it for some reason. So inside the arena, the hockey players are all skating and hitting pucks at super speed, completely out of control. So Wally tells Barry and Hal to handle the players. He's going to go look for the bad guys. So Flash and Green Lantern try to stop the hockey players, who don't even seem to notice that they've been accelerated. They're still trying to play their game at super speed. But Barry asks Hal if he can make some traction for him, and since he doesn't exactly have home court advantage on ice, but Barry, since he has yellow boots, Hal says that he can't help, and then they continue to argue a bit more because Barry's like, you can't or you won't, and then Barry gets hit with a hockey puck, and then Hal gets first of all, I want you to remember the yellow thing. They've hammered that yellow thing twice now, and it's really weird that they take this route. So but Wally is currently sneaking up on the villains who are watching Flash and Green Lantern as they send some mirror diamond thing to capture the heroes. So Barry and Hal can't seem to find a way out of this cage, and the villains taunt them about how it's only a matter of time until they run out of oxygen. So Wally is there to stop them though, and he tries to aim his ring at them, but the ring fizzles out. Black Hand tells him that he's linked to the Green Lantern. His powers are his powers, so if you can't connect to the Green Lantern who's inside this barrier, the connection is gone. So Black Hand aims his gun at Wally, saying his yellow gun. He aims his yellow gun at Wally, saying he's going to use his own speed to accelerate his heart until it explodes. But the gun vanishes, and Wally suddenly has it. So Wally says it's out of juice, and then as Kid Flash, now at super speed, breaks Flash and Green Lantern free, With the empty gun, Mirror Masters tries to escape, but Hal breaks. So the gun's empty. Black Hand's gun's empty. They're trying to refill it, but they can't because they can't focus. The villain or the heroes are too fast to deal with them. But Mirror Master sees that this is a lost cause, tries to use his own device to escape, but Hal breaks the device and he locks the villains in a construct cage. So Wally explains that he took the gun with his ring and got his speed back and left a construct duplicate in his place, which I have a lot of issues with. So, as you recall, on 2 occasions, both with the helicopter and with Flash's boots, they brought up how the Green Lantern ring at this time cannot affect the color yellow. But Mirror Master's gun, Black Hand's gun, is yellow. And we see that Wally takes the gun with his ring, leaves a construct duplicate when which he can only make green. He leaves a construct duplicate in its place, a yellow gun. Somehow he shouldn't have either been able to hold the gun. He shouldn't have been able to leave a identical copy of a yellow color gun in its place. But they did anyway, which I wouldn't have had an issue with if they didn't, hammer in at this point in time that they can't use the color yellow. They use it as a plot device twice, and they just simply didn't have to. They could have ignored that. They didn't have to make a deal of it, but they did, and then somehow still did this. It bothered me so much at the time, and it bothers me now. It's just so weird, and I don't know if it was just an artistic thing where they didn't think about not making the gun yellow or whatever. I don't know. It just it bothers me, and it should bother you. It's still a fun comic, but I'm just like, why did they hammer in the yellow thing if they were going to have him have to hold a yellow gun? Anyway, moving on from that, they wrap things up, and they thank Wally for his how good of a job they did. And Barry says, he can tell that Wally is itching for autographs, and he lets Wally go get some autographs from the hockey team. They do have a little exchange where Hal asks, why didn't he just try to use his ring to stop the prism thing before it got there? But Barry says he thinks that Wally may have actually intentionally waited so that he could save them with super speed to show his loyalty to Barry. But he doesn't know if even Wally's that good enough to think that far ahead. But you can see the smirk on Wally's face that was always his plan. So on the last page, everyone's together again, and they're at this diner so that Barry can get a late dinner, but they ask what happened. Iris asks what happened. They never took Wally home. And as everyone tries to awkwardly answer, Eve spits out her drink and starts to complain loudly about it. And Barry tells Hal, I think I like her. And then that's the end of that comic. So I'm going to do one more story from this, which is a team-up comic where Barry, Hal, and then the original Flash and Green Lantern, Jay Garrick and Alan Scott, they go on a camping trip on another planet. And it's really cool. So that's the only other one I'm going to cover from here. I might do the rest of it later, but I'm just doing too many Flash and Green Lantern videos, and I want to do some other stuff. But I hope that you guys had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I did. I hope that you're less frustrated as I am about the yellow gun thing. But yeah, if this is your first time here, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that noise. You can join the Discord, which should be linked in the description down below. So if you want to come talk to me directly, or you want to, recommend any comics that you want to have me cover, you can do that there, or just want to talk about comics, games, Pokemon, whatever. I'll be there. You can talk to me, and hope you guys will stick around for the next videos. So thank you for coming, and I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye.